They would be so fucking pissed.
Is this recording?
Yeah, it is.
We are tWoTcast! Episode 289.
There's no and. Let's try it. Let's try it so we're not the last room. He's really scary with that weird voice.
All right, everyone shut the f*** up.
We are tWoTcast! Wheel of Time. Reread a podcast. Explicit and R freaking rated. Jono's the wild card, always talking shit. Joe's the straight man, he's a total dick. Tom calls in if he's not too busy. We are tWoTcast!
You're listening to tWoTcast, the Wheel Time Reread podcast, now covering Robert Jordan's The Wheel Time Book 3, The Dragon Reborn. With me is Jono.
Jono!
And Joe.
Oh, hey, Tom.
And Tom, study your math.
Introduce the guest, motherfucker. Tom.
You gotta... It has to stop.
You don't step all over him. He knows
All
what
you
to
do
He knows
is
what
read
to
the
do.
parts of the script that are irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
Everything.
We're in fucking person. That's the guest.
That's
it's
what
us.
I was gonna say. Hey,
Finally.
John, we're in the same room. Hey,
The
John, we're in
Rock
the same room.
has come back
Three.
to tWoTcast.
We're in the same fucking best friends that ever.
We're
For
the
the viewers,
three
we're
best
high-fiving.
friends that anyone's gonna have. We're the three best friends that anyone's gonna have. We're the best three friends that anyone's gonna have. And we'll never, ever, 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 ever leave each other.
Sec for the next pandemic.
Whoopsies. But,
Or if I find a better house in another state.
Oh.
or it's either.
Are you moving?
I've been
Again?
looking. I've been looking.
You just bought one 2 weeks ago. I've been looking.
The idea that
I get a lot of
you're
emails
looking
about
for a new house.
refinancing and taking out of the mortgages and buying
Oh
another
my god,
house.
that's what all that happens when you sign a mortgage. Congratulations.
All right, well, that's it.
Yeah, the Rockets come back to tWoTcast.
Holy shit, this is fucking exciting for real. Like, I'm
I know.
so excited. And it doesn't make any sense because I hate you guys. I mean, I don't like seeing you in real life.
There are some dumb
And then when you're
grins.
in the same room, I'm like, motherfucker, what was I thinking?
And actually, whenever we do the show live, it's worse. It's always so much worse.
Oh god, yeah. Our intention was to do 2 episodes today, which
No, we're doing it. We're doing it.
oh, I
If I'm
can't
in
wait for that.
Massachusetts, we're gonna start at 6:30, and then we all join a call at 6:30, and then we start, and we're done an hour and a half later. And today we were like,
That's a lie.
well, let's get to Joe's house at 2. And
Well, it
is
turned at
now
3.
7:04.
It turned to 3
and we've
It
just
turned to
started.
3, and then when did Jono show up, Jono?
4.
No, okay.
4:09.
An hour later.
Yeah, that's not bad.
An entire hour later.
But also, every time we're about to start, I'm like, well, I'm gonna smoke. You're gonna pee. You're gonna get a drink. You gotta check on the baby.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
pee. I'm gonna get a drink.
Stop.
Yeah, okay, I got here 3 hours ago. What's your excuse?
because I wanted to hang out
Well,
with you guys a little bit. You know? Like, we haven't seen each other in a long
I
time.
think the point is, the
We're
problem
the
is
3.
obviously the wives.
Oh god.
Oh, wait. Did you want to sing that song yet?
I don't mind it. Yeah, why not? Because we're the three best friends that anyone's
we're not doing
Yeah, we're not doing it.
Oh, well,
It was
anyway.
already pretty bad the first time.
It's going to get worse.
I honestly wondered if Joe was going to edit it out.
Who's Joe? Oh, the guy next to me on the right.
I don't know how to edit anything, so.
Yeah.
Everything Jono has ever said on this podcast is all he's ever said. I've never
do
removed
want-
anything that Jono has ever said.
To change this setup.
What do you
Because
do?
you should be here and I should be there.
Why do you say that?
Because that's how it's always been.
It's always been. Yeah, you technically on the wrong side.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you've always been on my left, and he's always been on the right.
Yeah.
Is that seriously what you want to do?
I mean, not right now. But, just a problem to correct for the future. It's fucking weird.
Move every computer, every wire.
You know that's literally never going to happen.
I've literally
This
never...
is the side of the computer.
Then you know what we're
face.
going to do? We're going to shift to that end of the table.
Oh, we
and
can do
John
that.
will be down there.
Yeah, we can do
And
that.
then it'll be correct.
Yeah, we can do that. Sure. That's fine.
So we recorded
Actually,
half an
let's do
episode.
that.
The rest was
Well,
spent
let's
moving.
not do it right now. But maybe after this.
All right, your uncomfortability has been noted.
Discomfort?
No, uncomfortability.
Okay, yeah.
I have the
That's a word.
inability to be uncomfortable.
Yes.
For the viewers, I'm staring off into space.
The final frontier.
I mean, they can see it, Tom. You don't have to tell them.
And there's one.
No, I mean they're not viewers. Are they viewers?
It's debatable.
That's fine. You know what's interesting about doing it in person
You go first.
Well, I don't have to use my own hands.
Oh.
But the second thing is that I find we've been doing this for like, I don't know, all of 3-4 minutes now, and we're already not talking over each other because we're in the same room and we don't. Oh, Tom's lagging. Oh wait. All right. Go ahead, Jono.
My hand's been raised. For 10
you can
minutes.
actually put your I have a note, and you just put your finger up, and I'm like, oh, Jono. Wants to
I
say
want to go back to the last
something.
episode already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I want to go back. Real quick.
Oh, let's go back. Let's
get to it.
At any rate, I'm already psychotically loving being in person again. That's it. That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't have a lot for small talk.
Oh, you got your penis. Oh! I haven't made that joke since probably, I don't know.
It doesn't even feel like
last episode.
It doesn't even feel like it makes sense.
It does.
I'm gonna think about that for a while.
All right, I'll think about it.
I mean, just think about it for like a minute or two. I mean,
What's new?
You bought a house. Tom, Joe, you bought a house.
I did buy a house.
And I bought a house 6 months ago. Less exciting. All three of us bought a house within 6 months.
Yeah.
And
it's been a crazy time period for us. We haven't put out a lot of episodes. We were guesting on a lot of episodes in March. Then Joe got lazy in April.
Joe got laid in January and had a kid and conceived a child. Maybe February.
I guess we should announce that to the internet. So I am having a second child.
Oh, you can also edit it. You're in charge of that.
When Joe lets a month go by without an episode,
It hasn't been a month. It's been a couple weeks.
Well, there was a month. And me and Jono don't say anything because we're just like, well, Joe does all the
busy.
work. So it's hard to complain.
Yeah.
And I literally every time I'm just like, once it goes past a month, like I'll call him. And then you always do it right before it's time for us to be like, we need to have a conversation.
Is this a conversation? Is this a preamble?
The most recent time that it happened, though, where a month went by without an episode, we also didn't record an episode, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
That's when it drives me insane when you don't put any out, but then you're just like,
Well, we
hey,
didn't
we're
record
recording
it.
Tuesday, and I'm like, I'm kind of busy, and you're like, we have to get these episodes done. I'm like, you're not putting them out!
There's nothing to put out.
In other news,
That being said,
Who writes it off?
the accountants, that's what they do. They write it off.
They write it off, Tom. It's a write-off. You put the big bills.
So we just put a short video of
Should we just grab this episode from last time? This little small talk joke from last time?
on Twitter.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah, so
paintings?
people want to see it.
Yeah.
It really showed nothing of the entire recording studio at all.
It didn't at all, but I mean, when the next time you guys are over here, I'll probably have them actually on the wall. And
Yeah, maybe
that'll be
we'll
more impressive.
Maybe we'll do a photo shoot.
So Joe is now a landlord, or a landowner. Yeah, and it's a
Plantation owner.
Yeah.
I have slice. There's a guy that cuts my lawn, but I
So once,
reward him handsomely
one
with.
we no. Nope.
I was gonna say with money, but I don't know what types of no.
I was gonna go with the joke for Tom's wife, and you're offensive too.
Oh well, I mean, I'm always handsome. That's my job.
Let's just move past this one. I don't have small talk.
Oh, that's fine.
The only thing I have on my mind is moving furniture, unpacking boxes, and doing yard work.
Yeah, that's what we're.
Anything else?
That's what we're indicating, Tom.
Just ready to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning.
Woiler sporting.
This is our episode covering the Dragon Reborn, written by Robert Jordan, chapters 40 through 43.
Should I put recovering?
No,
Doesn't sound quite right.
because recovering sounds like it's an AA.
Recovering.
So this is our episode covering, once again,
Yeah, there you go.
the Dragon Reborn, written by Robert Jordan, chapters
All right,
40
chapters
through
40 through 43.
What is the title of this chapter?
It's called A Hero in the Night, Tom, and it's a Matt chapter, and they're on the river, but
Is
it's
it-
basically Erangel.
Can I ask real quick? Is it hero, euro, or gyro?
Well, it depends.
Hoagie.
Oh, yeah, no, it
I was
sounds.
gonna say cheesesteak, but that's fine.
But it's not necessarily a cheesesteak. Often it's
It's
lamb.
sub-sandwich.
Stupid fucking yeah. I like hoagie in the night.
Submarine sandwich?
No.
All right, I just wrote Erangel.
Yeah.
Matt commits a federal offense. Eludra invented matches. Fights and Fireworks should have been the name of this chapter.
Fights and Firework is a fantastic name for this chapter.
Thank you!
What about Basil Gill versus Aaron Gill? Who do you think would win?
Erangel for sure.
Because he's first in the alphabet.
Basically, like the Autobot city.
Okay.
Yeah,
it works.
No normal human man can beat that.
I don't know. He can play a mean game of stones. Wait, he loses all the time. I was gonna say, like if you're calling their names out in a role in like a classroom, it's like Gil.
Yeah, he also
Aaron. Gil.
Erangel also wins alphabetically.
Basil. Aaron wins.
The entire time, Basil Gill was like, well, it's gotta be me. I'm gonna be first here, right? I'm gonna be first.
Here. Oh, Aaron. God damn it.
Maybe the Queen's Blessing is like a nice place to go, and Erangel was like, to put it nicely, like a hobo town.
That's mid-class at best.
I mean, it's not their fault. Erangel's probably a nice place to vacation 99% of the time, but there's a war in Carrion, and that's not their fault.
Some kind of war.
They're just accepting refugees, Tom.
In
It's not
fairness,
their fault.
we'll get to it later, but the Queen's Blessing is filled with rats oftentimes.
Yeah, they got all kinds of cats because that one dude's just sitting out front petting them all the time, like fucking
Lambgwin?
Dr. No.
Lambgwin.
Yeah, Lambgwin. That's what I was.
fun to say.
That's what I was going for.
Let's do that.
So, tell us more about Erangel.
No, I literally have nothing else to say.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's a dirty hobo town.
it is a dirty
With
hobo
a bunch
town.
of poor and
It's not.
homeless that are,
You guys are really mean.
They're all looking for handouts.
Although, in fairness, it's clearly
disgusting.
not a dirty hobo town because it's like the highest fucking cost of living anywhere in the entire series is right here, right now in Erangel.
The cost of things, just anything, like a room for the night or like food for dinner or whatever the fuck, or like a room on a boat. It's just like it's astronomically high.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve is not impressed with your transient inflation.
No laws
holy
in
shit.
Camelin against price gouging?
Well, not in Camelin. You mean Andor?
Yeah, Andor.
Also, no. It was until the Forsaken came to town, and they were like, "We love competition." Like we put no
Keep this
handbrakes
up.
on this transient
Keep this up.
inflation. So it's all sorts of fucked up.
So Matt and Tom arrive in town.
I like it's really funny at first because like right now, like as we'll see in a bit, rain's still happening. There's no grand plan from the Dark One. So like economies should be functional minus.
Rain is part of the grand plan of the Dark.
I know, like that's why it's happening.
Weather? Are you talking about weather?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like clearly it's not it's not happening yet because it rains later on this chapter. It's like the Dark One's not in its way.
Yeah, no, he's not here yet.
So like the economy should be totally fine. Other than
Classic
this,
Dark One, you know what I mean? Like always one step behind. Like Matt's there, and then he's like, "Oh, I should put rain there." And then it's Matt moves on, and he's
Matt
like,
did
"Fuck, I
fuck
rained
this
on the
up.
wrong city."
Because Eludra possibly could have gotten raped in this scenario. In the rain.
which I believe.
Let's have Aaron be in there.
Let me make some weather to force Eludra into a small stable where she could possibly get raped.
Rain equals rape.
That's my 2 prongs of my evil plan.
They start with the same 2 letters. R-A,
Also,
R-A.
we never Matt never discusses with Eludra, like, does she have a headache? We don't know. Maybe she does.
Ooh, odds
She
are pretty
definitely would
high.
have after the rain rape.
They probably would have knocked her unconscious.
Yeah, they would have knocked her over the head.
Yeah.
Headache.
Yeah.
3 prongs.
So 3 prongs is also part of the rape usually. But like, so there's definitely a.
Jenna's always just one step further.
Come here, Tom.
Just one step further.
Shocker style.
One
I
step.
was
yeah.
thinking. Well, the viewers can see.
The viewers
can.
You're holding up a
The
finger.
viewers
and
can see what I'm doing with my fingers.
I mean,
There's still 3 fingers involved.
The viewers
in
get it.
making of a hole and a finger. But anyway, so it's definitely like a moribund, just fucked up town right now. It's just everything. Like the idea of like even getting an end cost, like that's 10 gold. Like what? Like it seems like whoever, like as long as you can like rent something and just hold something for like a week, you're richer than fuck if you're one of these innkeepers.
I would think there's nobody that can pay these prices.
That's kind of another
So like
point.
I would be like, well, it's 100 gold for a room, and then all your rooms are empty.
It does seem like how much is it?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, no one can afford that.
It's
Unless
only-
you're Matt Coffin.
unless
who
it's
gambles
rich merchants
and
and
just, like,
lords
steals
that
money
have-
from people.
Unless it's on a scale, like your inn is empty, and all of a sudden everybody comes, and you're like, all right, it's 1 for you, 2 for you.
Yeah, so like the
4, 5,
first
6,
guy to
7, 8.
show up had like normal prices, and then it just
Ooh,
like
yeah.
skyrocketed.
So that is, by the way,
that's probably what it
the
was.
central
I
tenet
feel like
of
we sussed it out.
great
I think we
pricing
sussed it. I think we
schemes,
sussed
right?
it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's never mind. My economics teacher would be proud of that. Yeah. So again, at the end of the
I feel
day,
like you had a bad economics teacher. Do we be proud of anything that was said in this room?
Is that wrong? Is that wrong?
But yeah. So some of these guys wouldn't even love to stay in the stables, and this last guy is like, I wouldn't let you stay in the stable unless you know,
Hand job.
hand job. He's like, what about ducks? And he's
Reach
like,
around.
I love that these guys lick their lips when Matt pulls out like a gold coin.
Like frogs.
Go on.
Talking about Simeon, frog face
Simeon,
boy.
Yeah. I haven't thought this theory out yet. You just put the kernel in my brain, so I'm going to think about it while
Sanders?
you talk. Keep talking.
When Simeon's in the wolf dream,
Simeon away.
he considers the frog dream.
Frog dream.
He just wants more gold.
Frog dream.
I don't know why, but
And
I
as
love
we
the
all
frog
know, the frog dream is what happens at the end of Super Mario Brothers 2.
What is the frog dream?
Interesting. Or the raccoon dream, which is a slight different fairy.
So Matt was eating all the captain's food.
And throwing it in the waste after a while. That's what was funny for a bit.
This
like,
is my favorite part. The trouble that he must have gone through
to toss it
to
over.
hide all that food and go out on top of the boat and then sneakily dump like a full chicken over the side.
But he
of the
must have
boat.
been so happy about it the whole time.
Yeah, he's happy about it until he sees the starving people and he's like, well, now I feel bad. Thanks for ruining
also-
my joke.
That food would have been bad anyway by the time they got there.
Maybe not the night before.
They don't have a refrigerator
You know
on the boat.
You know what Jono brought up years ago? Maybe that chicken was feeding the fish. What are those people eating? Fish.
Oh,
How about me? How about that?
He fed those people.
Circle
Teach a
of
man
life.
how to feed a chicken to a fit. I
Yeah,
can't
you,
remember. I
you
don't
teach a
remember
man
the
how to feed a chicken to a fish, and that fish feeds
That
multiple men
fish
and children
eats
and women.
chicken.
Yes.
Thicken.
All I can think about is like hiding veggies in my
chicken.
napkin at the dinner table and just be like, I don't want to eat this broccoli. And then just be like, how do I get away with this? My mom's gonna know.
And then your dog.
Because I'm just like,
Godzilla.
picturing Matt doing this as a grown fucking
And
man.
then everyone kills Godzilla and eats the meat.
just fucking amazing.
It's a bizarre.
It's so insane.
He's so pleased with himself too. Like when he gets off, like, enjoy it, Captain. Dumb fuck. I stole so much food from you.
I mean, that captain was very hateable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I literally
Was
wrote
racist.
Matt is SMRT
Sexist.
for not letting the captain's men help him to his inn. Matt Gamble's an idiot of his horses, and by horses I mean whores.
I don't think you're an idiot to take a 2-to-1 bet on something that's going to pay you a fuck ton of money.
No, the guy was an idiot. The bet was smart,
Yeah.
and then he gambles that idiot with a smart bet on that man's part, and then wins. That was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it works for me. So I do find it interesting, and it'll come into play later on, that the refugees are going to be sent back starting tomorrow, which is
Yeah.
the first hint that Morghese is not in charge.
Yeah, and they get more hints of that later.
Yeah, and it's funny because like Matt had no idea. He's just like, "What do you think? Morghese is not in charge? Yeah, she's queen, right?" Find out in a couple episodes. Oh, fuck.
No, she's absolutely not.
Yeah. Oh, and they also passed Nynaeve and Elaine and like that ship, Gwyn's ship too.
Yeah, and the funny thing is the guy, so he has a low opinion of the ship captain because the guy's like, I could be a trap or river brigands. And you're like, that's exactly what it was, but they needed actual help.
Yeah. Well, you know.
But it was just funny because he's like, I have a very low opinion of this man because he wouldn't help those people in the river. He sucks.
So they
Sleep in the stables. Matt hears a noise in the night.
What's funny is it seems like it's like in the middle of the night.
There's
because-
one prong of the Dark One's plan coming.
Yeah. By the way, economy working as normal because of the rain, but the economy is ready for some rape here or attack. At least I
Wait, what?
I don't ever want to hear you say rape again while you slowly rub your hands together.
I mean, the viewers saw it, Tom. They all get it.
All right. So Eludra comes in. By the way, who's quite alluring.
Is she?
Eludra. Yeah.
I don't know. I never read the descriptions that closely.
She's definitely just like
I've never read a chapter about her and been like, oh,
Matt finds her
Luda's not.
attractive. She's an older chick.
You know what I would say
Pouty
about
mouth.
Eludra is that via the audiobooks, the weird accent that they decided to put onto Eludra and Tammuz and the other three dudes at this point in time was very bizarre. and not attractive at
Not
all.
attractive.
And I was just like, what? is
What
going
type
on?
of accent?
I can't.
All right, just
it
try.
doesn't-
Just
it
try.
doesn't
Just try.
exist.
Just try.
God damn it.
Here we go.
I don't even think I can. Pull
Doesn't
it up
matter,
in
just
my-
do it.
In my drunk brain.
Oh, drink and then do it.
All right, hold on.
You sound like your mom, don't I?
I can't do it.
Is
All right,
it?
we're done.
Jesus.
Well, I don't want to waste time. We
That
can
was
do it.
worth all the effort to get nothing.
It was days ago that I listened to this book, and I dismissed it from my brain.
So Wheel Takes recently did a poll, like their March Madness of hot characters, and we
Yeah.
made it pretty far, and I was confused.
People like MILFs.
I mean, Matt is attracted to her consistently.
Matt is attracted to MILFs too.
Yes,
And
true.
then- But then even though he ends up marrying a 13-year-old girl, 14,
14.
Is she 14?
15,
15. 16?
I don't know.
No.
Possibly an adult. I don't know.
She's an adult, child-sized doll.
She's a child in an adult's body. She's an adult in a child's body.
She's a small child that has been alive for many years.
She's an 8-year-old empress, but she makes the rules.
She's the Empress from Neverending Story.
Having sex with the empress
But-
if she's 8 is not pedophilia if the empress makes the rules and she says it's not pedophilia.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Grown adult.
Ipso facto,
Actually, I
not
have, no
rapo.
idea, I have no idea how old.
So facto, not rapo.
Yeah, that's right.
That where we're going?
It's Italian. Or Latin, I mean.
Are you a lawyer?
I've watched a lot of Henry Winkler and Arrested Development.
He's watched a lot of rape law. It's very close to bird law.
SVU. Yeah. Of bird law. Yeah. Yes.
Anyway, they meet Eludra, who is hiding in the stable. Tammuz and 3 others come in to fucking kill her. And then Matt jumps down off a rope like a fucking bowling ball.
Yeah, this one, like, if it has the sound effect, it'll be like a Roger Moore Bond
Yeah,
movie.
just like,
yeah.
like what? Seriously?
Like, but yeah, he jumps down. I do love his thought process.
And then he stands up and he goes, "I'm invincible!" And then Tom throws him the staff
Wrong
and it hits
Bond
his hands
movie.
right in that.
You went Goldeneye.
Oh, sorry.
God damn it.
How is everybody in these books so good at tracking people? Like, this guy just
Yes,
worked at
it's
a fireworks
insane.
store.
In fairness.
And then she runs, could have gone anywhere. He's like, but I've got
in
this.
fairness,
I
she's
got
been.
it.
And he's right behind her.
Not only that, but he's the biggest fucking idiot on the planet,
He is
as
an
we
idiot.
saw in the previous chapters that involved him.
He is an idiot. But actually, he didn't really do. Well, he did a little bit
So
wrong.
I have to
But
give
his
it.
part of his issue, though, was because of what Celine/Lanfear had done, was leaving that door
Fair,
open.
no, absolutely, fair enough. The door that may or may not have existed.
Yeah.
But the other
Sounds
three,
like a chapter on its own.
the other 3 dudes has to be the trackers, right? he's just the idiot, the bumbling idiot that's coming along with him.
If we woke up and tomorrow and it was the apocalypse and it was 8:50 in the morning and you like tap my shoulder and you're like, hey, I'm leaving, and I'll be like, well, I'll be right behind you. I'm still pretty tired.
And then I left like an
woke
hour
up
ahead of you?
10 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then got up and I was like, I wonder which way Joe went. I would never.
No fucking clue.
But
Never.
what's she doing? She is
I wouldn't even know where it
carrying-
starts.
She's carrying her
I think
heart
it's
by
'cause-
hand.
No, but she's also selling fireworks.
That's the second thing.
She's
So
just
that's the-
trailing gunpowder behind her.
No, I think what happens is she goes to a small town, she sells some fireworks, and then she's like, they'll never find me here. And then the townspeople are like, and they're like, that way.
All right, from that town you go in literally any direction.
But remember, there's
Yes,
only.
and then the next small town.
But what do roads look
And you're
like?
like,
though?
oh, okay, shit.
There's so, like roads only go like with 2 directions.
So is it the person
Roads
it's
only
their
go
fault?
2 directions, Tom.
I only so if you're running
this shit-
from death,
Yeah.
well, I've got to stay on the road.
well, yeah.
Walk
Gotta make
across
some-
the country.
Gotta make some money.
Or just get off the road for 10 minutes and watch
No!
the bus.
Again, what is
Cut
she
over to
doing?
the next highway.
Impossible.
Yeah, just use your Waze or Google Maps.
In fairness, though, what is she doing? She's in the biggest road, like in the biggest town around her, and she chooses instead of Camelin, Lugard, another big town. She's totally just like, well, I'll just go to a big town.
We've covered none of this chapter.
We've covered quite a bit of it.
Yeah, we're almost done. So again, minus the bowling ball sounds.
Yeah.
It's an awesome fight. It's one that again.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
like
really,
that he curses himself for a bloody fool before he even swings down. That's amazing.
It's a lot of fun.
It's perfectly made for TV. Which, by the way, it says at the bottom. If you look at your
Yeah, it
original
literally
version
says,
of
like,
the
made for
hardback book,
television.
it says made for TV.
Really?
Yeah. I see you didn't bring your novel. So yeah.
So I think the main notes that we need to fucking say out loud before we move on to this chapter, because we have 0 time left, is that she gives him fireworks as a reward.
That becomes relevant in the next.
Very relevant and very relevant later on.
Yeah, and this whole book. And it also does crystallize this point about Matt and A, Aludra, and B, fireworks in general.
I do like the small note of like Tom being like, "Hey, how'd you light your lantern in the dark like that?"
Yeah, I love it.
Fuck you! I'm not gonna tell you all my secrets. And I'm like, God damn.
But I will in a couple books.
But I mean, later. She's like, "Sticks will make my fortune." And
If
he's
anyone's
like,
to be able to create fire from nothing, should it be a gleeman?
Seriously, it's a great point. Like,
That's probably
maybe
what he
that's what
wants to
Tom's
know, because
interested.
he's like a low-level magician. So he's like, "Hey, how'd you make that?"
Low level.
Clearly, Tom
cock.
can do close-up magic. That involves a lot of flame.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he wants to do that. He wants to add a little flair. He wants to have a little burst of flame when he like hides the card behind your ear.
Oh, Aludra created matches, gunpowder, and improved magician.
Side note, I
understand why people think she's.
There's this one note where they're deciding They're deciding whether or not to sleep in this fucking stable after they beat the shit out of these guys. And Tom just goes, "Well, I mean,
if you want to slit their throats,
we can slit 4 throats and just get a good night's sleep. But then we'll spend 4 days just like talking to guards." And Tom was like genuinely contemplating it to get a good night's sleep. And it's like the fucking and Matt's like, "No.
Also, yes.
First of all, I'm not gonna slit 4 throats. Third of all, let's just get the fucking go."
Also, why not just tie them up? Because like they are waking up, they're coming to, and considering Tom's point about the fact that like someone's fucking tracking them for miles.
No, by the way,
someone's trying to kill you, and they find you, and then you knock them out, and then they're starting to wake up, and you're like, "Well, I've got at least a 5-minute head start." Kill them.
The key is that Matt counts like Buzz, and it's A, 1,
2, D.
Anyway, chapter 41. A hunter's oath.
A hunter's oath.
And it's, whoa, is that what that says?
Yeah.
It's a perrin chapter, and they're in Illian.
Illiana?
They do be in Illian.
Well, you ruined my notes. Because it's just the gang gets to Illian.
Oh, well.
Also, Moraine gives failed a perrin. Slaves.
It's not wrong.
How does slavery come up twice in the last 2 It's not on.
There's a lot of slavery undertones in this. You know what I do want to talk about? 10 years ago, Tom.
Okay.
You called him, and I quote, "Ol' Tetherball Cathan."
Tetherball.
I've got it.
Can you play tetherball for us?
This is a human being on a rope swinging into people. It made complete sense.
Wait, we're back to chapter 40?
No, I just wanted to make that note. I forgot to mention it. Anyway, chapter 41.
Wait, we're back to chapter 41?
We have been.
We enjoyed this, right?
A Hunter's Oath.
Oh yeah, Hunter's Oath. Yeah. You said the gang arose in Illian. You did it.
And Moraine gives failed a perrin.
Yeah.
And then we talked about slavery. And then we had like a really in-depth, very thoughtful 2-hour conversation about it.
Yeah.
So
but let's get back to jokes.
Let's get back to the chapter.
Yeah. So they arrive in Illian. There's small fishing boats in the marsh. Moraine is annoyed at Zareen because she knows she's Aes Sedai.
I like the color you're giving.
Perrin seems uncomfortable.
Careful with the slavery jokes.
And then, Perrin and Fael fight on the deck of the ship, and then Perrin at some point goes, "Fucking nice, because she's Aes Sedai!" And then she's like, "God damn it, now they all know I'm an Aes Sedai." Perrin consistently
we don't know that.
puts his foot in his mouth, and
He does this a lot.
fucking hilarious.
Like, for being the...
Clearly Fael gets under, by Fael, Zareen, gets under his skin a little
Book 3, like, Perrin may have been, like...
She gets under his fur capris.
That comes later, Tom.
Take all back. But clearly, in this part, like, he's also... In book 3, when they were coming down from the mountains, when they come, like,
When they come. Is that what you wanted?
Joe died. I love recording in person. This is the
stupid.
best. No, but like when they're like, remember when they're tickling fish? Another dumb joke. Like
Tickling fish, yeah.
Like he's just been getting really angry with Moraine, like over and over. Like he's almost just
Moraine and Perrin's relationship during this book
It's
is
so
very
frustrating.
odd, though.
And then
like, he's the calmest guy around and should be more like obvious, like understanding of like
He's not calm. He just takes a long time to tell you that he's
to shit
angry.
himself with anger.
it's very similar almost to like the relationship she had with Lan before she bonded him.
Holy shit, I love that.
No, it really is.
Oh,
And there's like a
yeah,
lot of
whoa.
similarities there.
Cognizant
And,
point.
Aside from the obvious notes of like, oh, he could be a good warder, like
Notes of
Lan and
spice.
Moraine
Plus
had
she
like
flashed
a
her bush to him.
yeah,
This is the dance of you could be my warder.
perhaps.
There's ants crawling up his dick for a
She was
bit.
definitely topless. But,
Flash their
so,
bush definitely is.
the point is, no, but there was like a mild, like like Moraine and Lan had like a mild attraction.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, we can't act upon this for these reasons, and they kind of just like over the years went, and that will never happen.
It would have been interesting.
But there's like a weird, like, I don't know, sexual attraction between the two of them.
She
and
does say, like,
why
women
else
do-
would Robert Jordan write in the scenes where he's like, I open the door and she's shirtless, and then I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, you know, like, and I'm like, what are you trying to
Do you think
to get out of the reader at that point?
Moraine was just like, I'm banging this wolf boy, and then all of a sudden Fail shows up and she's like, God damn it.
That's why she's so angry.
Yeah, and
I
then
was
she's
ready
like,
to go, and young
I
pussy
fucking
showed up
hate
on
this
the
Young
and she's clear that the Falcon you're looking for, you goddamn asshole, and I can't have sex with you now.
You raise a great point, though. I mean, like, do you think that, like she's got one of those, like, kind of like mega clits that sticks out like a falcon's beak?
You raise a good point, he says, as if you brought that up.
Jesus Christ.
It's just like
You
a
brought up Mega Clit. Not Jono, you did. I would have been curious to see where that relationship went, except after this book,
So
they never see each other again.
Yeah, so another
For like
note
10
on that
books.
point, though, they have, like, so Lan starts, like, smiling a little bit during this period of time and, like, laughing at, like, the struggle Moraine is having with Zareen and Perrin and, like, and kind of, like, chuckling about it. And then he mentions, he's like, well, if you're sending me off to Myrel, like, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
supposed to have a good sense of humor, you
But
bitch.
in my in your mind, you're like, well, is she actually thinking about Perrin that way? Because like I actually think that like maybe she was genuinely thinking of Perrin in a way of like,
She's like, I
well,
know
I'm gonna
he's
send Lan this way.
She's like, I know he's gonna come into this room.
Yeah, and she just gets ready.
For the audience, Tom just spread his legs real
She's
far.
Viewers know.
I'm gonna comb my hair for an extended period of time, topless.
And bush out.
just
no
wait.
matter how long it
Bush
takes.
Just waiting.
She's just trimming that, combing that out too.
No, she doesn't comb that out.
You don't think she's got those
nice,
tresses?
It's nice and bushy.
Curly.
Just because she's trying to appeal to Perrin.
So even in the Wheel of Time, like, Moraine had a Twilight obsession.
I think so. Yeah.
She almost fucked a Drakkar. She wanted to fuck a werewolf.
Yeah, we got a vampire, we got a
Yeah,
werewolf.
Werewolf Boy and Drakkar. Yeah.
Very disappointed we didn't go further with my amazing falcon pussy joke, but I honestly love where
I'm
we
actually
ended.
glad we didn't.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we moved on from
Do you think when she opens her labia, goes, thank you.
Loyal hides in his cabin and comes up only to smoke, which I think was that's like very
pretty much-
Tom move.
Pretty much Tom is
Yeah.
what I was about to say.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd never go into the cabin.
Oh, here's
boat.
the actual note I was just talking about. Lan shows actual emotion and almost smiles.
Do you think that technically, by the way, like he feeds off of her emotions because like they're kind of like almost like an echo chamber-ish? Do you think that she's actually secretly entertained because maybe she's gonna watch like some type of weird kind of like
Wheel of
dating-
Time porn.
Yeah, and that's why Lan's over there kind of laughing and she's annoyed.
Look,
that-
we all know what Stormlight Archive porn looks like. It's the drawing chick. What's her name?
fuck. Oh, Jasna.
Yeah, so Shalyn is drawing like a
Jasna
fucking
is wrong.
Face.
like a fax
You
like a
win.
fax machine.
Yeah.
Really quickly though. She just watches anything she sees. She can draw. So she draws frame after frame
It's a good thing she was molested early.
Adeline, like
Uh-oh.
you know, fucking Dalinar or something, and then she's like, "Hey, here's some gay sex," and then she just uploads it
Just
into
starts
like
drawing
the
gay sex.
into the
Just the words gay sex.
she draws it.
That's the one. She did.
And then, you know, she uploads it
Right
into
back to
the
MacGruber's
fax
notebook.
machine, you know, stones. Sends it across the world. People can see it.
I love faxing porn.
Zane.
It's like that scene in fucking-
Drawing up my falcon clit. Do I have to do one first or no?
It's dial 9 to get out. Well, he didn't. Am I right?
So
Dial
Moraine
9 to get off.
tells Zareen to leave, and she says no.
Just no.
I'm literally.
No, I know. I appreciate that. There's not enough people that say
You
that.
can get the fuck out of here.
And it's
right
amazing.
Now.
It's a
Just go right now. I won't hold you to it. No. All right. Well,
And does Moraine honor that? No.
sure.
I think that's important
She lets her
for
stay.
society.
She lets her stay.
Yeah, it's important that they did that. What?
Nothing. That wasn't funny. I like how she's like, Lynn, you're not gonna kill me. And he's like, won't I? like that's the kind of the only note. It's just like, well, Moraine, you're not really gonna. I know Aes Sedai, and you're not really gonna do anything to get rid of me. And I know Lan isn't gonna go past a certain point. And Lan's like,
Would I?
I just want one book, like prequel book, where everywhere they go, somebody that maybe might have heard something or seen something they probably shouldn't have, and they don't even understand what it means. Lance is like, well, kill that guy.
yeah,
Kill that girl.
Kill that guy.
Kill that guy.
Kill
Just
that
keeps
guy.
jogging
Kill
by
that
on his
guy.
horse, just butchering it. Just take the head off.
Like, I think everybody in this town might know you're Aes Sedai.
Oh, here we go.
Have you ever heard of napalm?
I want to see the one scene where they have to like ride through a town really quickly, but that's all they're doing. But they're like chasing a Trolloc or something, so he's just cutting throats the whole way through.
Did you watch Monty Python and the Holy
nonstop.
Grail yet? We talked about it last
God damn it,
time.
Jono.
Yeah,
No.
there you go.
He has obviously casually murdered a lot of people.
Clearly.
It's not casual. It's casual.
So anyway, Moraine makes Zareen swear by oath.
I want to talk about this. That's actually where I was going.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want you to swear by your hunter's oath. So you're swearing by a swear. Like, that seems like...
She knows that Fael takes that incredibly seriously, so she knows that if I ask you to swear by this thing that you hold up on high, that it's the most important thing to you.
I have a question.
It makes sense.
Knowing what we know about her now, did she take that oath that seriously?
Exactly the point, because she literally does nothing about hunting the horn. Now, in fairness, she does learn more about the horn in a bit. But, like,
Yeah.
hey, Joe swears he's going to drive his car safely. I want you to swear on that insurance statement.
I think
like,
you
that
just
seems...
I think you just figured it out right there. 2 chapters later, she finds out that Matt blew the horn of Valir. I mean,
She should still be looking for
not
it.
only found it,
Technically, she should be looking for
but
Matt
has
Coffin.
already sounded it.
Should she not be looking for Matt Coffin?
I mean, hanging out with one of his best friends is a good way to find him.
You know what? That's a solid note, though, Jono. No, I don't disagree with that.
I don't either.
Like, wait, he's already found it? I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta
That should have been the. You're right. That should have been the.
It does work out,
No,
technically.
it's
Work it
way
out.
easier to find that guy if you stick with this group than it is to just go off to try
Fair
to find
enough.
something
It does
like
work, but at the same time,
gambling fool.
it seems like a very tenuous promise. Like, I want you to
learn
promise
too
on a
much,
promise.
I'll leave and I'll kill you. Your parents' responsibility, which we've already talked about.
Oh, they're dead.
And then she says, "It seems you found Vince Falcon," and she's like, "Who's Min?"
That also is interesting because
He's
I
like
love
this hot chick I used to hang out with.
And then she's like, "Wait a minute, you're Tyviran?"
I love the fact that Perrin never once considered that Min may have told
Moraine, yeah.
Moraine. By the way, the fate of the world rests on these 3 people.
Yeah.
She has a little bit about it. And he's just kind of, well, there's no way she's going to know that, right? Because, I mean, who would tell
Also,
about...
at this point in
Those are
time,
friends.
Rand doesn't even know this, but Perrin knows that Min like has a thing for Rand because he's like, "Oh, you love Rand." You know, like they had that conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like, of course she's going to give Moraine all the information she can to like
save
help
Rand?
keep Rand alive. Yeah, like that's all her goal is.
It's
like,
funny that he's
Is this
blown
help?
away.
Does this help?
It's like, I'm Taviran, so is my best friend, and this guy's the Dragon Reborn, and this Aes
Yeah.
Sedai is trying to save the world, and like weird things are happening in my dreams. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna tell anybody. Maybe later I will.
Maybe later.
Maybe Min's a grown up and is just like, hey, person in charge, here's some fucked up shit.
Here's some
might wanna know
information you
about."
might need because you're in charge.
Thank Christ for Min.
Yeah, seriously. Because what would have happened otherwise? It doesn't matter, because technically the plot
No
will
one
never
tells
tell.
Moraine anything.
My last note is: women never controlled me before leaving Emmons Field, except for Nynaeve. And Mistress Leia. and Egwene. And her mom. And also the women's circle. But
his
like,
own
no women.
What about his own mom?
Oh, she dies later, like in the next book.
Yeah.
She may already be dead.
Brutal.
Good
too.
point.
She gets eaten
Oh
up.
god damn, that's fucking brutal.
It's funny
she could
now,
be
right?
dying right
Oh,
now.
she could be dead right now. Let's talk about Perrin's dead mom and entire family.
And then I wrote, Zareen calls him Shaggy Hair, and I said, little does she know he's got fur capris on.
shaggy hair pubes.
Backtracking to
Why
the
did
joke
you
that we already backtracked
Look
to.
straight at me when you said that, and then you looked straight at me and said shaggy hair. It's like,
Because you're ready to do our next
Because it's
chapter.
chapter 42!
All right, sure.
It's called Easing the Badger, my favorite
Eating
chapter.
the badger. Tell me about eating the
Perrin.
badger.
It's a Perrin chapter.
get into that.
And they're in that inn that we just named.
Just put Illian's a shithole.
Yeah, good.
Also, something is weird in the city is weird, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a shithole city. Some
Agreed.
guys in camouflage attack everyone,
That's
and Moraine runs off home.
Kramer are just rednecks just walking around in camo.
Guys, camouflage.
Well, no one can see them.
Robert Jordan had a bar fight with some dudes in camo after a hunt. That's it.
There's an amazing old movie called A Bridge Too Far. It's about a World War II battle where they try to take a bunch of bridges. The point being is like they're wearing all this jungle camouflage and then they parachute into a city and then they run to a bridge and they try to hold this bridge and then one of the actors turns to the other actor and goes, "I think we're wearing the wrong camouflage." And I'm like, I guess they're just dressed like they should be running around in the woods and they're just in a city.
Like a name.
So the gray man don't do that. That's my point.
So that's what the Aiel do. Remember, they changed their colors.
Yeah, they're
later.
wearing the
Gray
wrong
men
camouflage.
They wear firefly camouflage.
I love this.
So Ilion has canals and bridges crisscrossing it. It's a really cool city, kind of
It's
like Venice, but
it's
shittier.
Yeah, except clearly everyone pisses and shits in this water, and like everything's
And
terrible.
dumps bodies
No one-
into it.
and no
The
one-
Multiple bodies.
No one takes care of
The
anything.
dumping of the bodies later on is not even like just toss it in the
They
canal.
don't even blink an eye at it.
Just toss them in the canal.
She's like, throw it in the canal.
throw some sawdust on the blood.
What's the current like in? What's the current like in this guy?
It's got to be slow as fuck. Clearly they're at sea
Sawdust on the
level.
blood.
I'm gonna try that
It's
next
not
time
like
I bleed on something.
It's not like, hey, let's mop the floor.
I think that covers it up, or at least mop first.
Yeah, mop first. Toss some sawdust.
Throw some
grab it
sawdust
up, and then toss new sawdust.
It's the equivalent of like you have a leaky oil leak in your car and you just throw cat litter under your car. It's like, what the? That's not stopping the leak.
And we all know there's oil under that.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
What's this sawdust pile?
Nothing.
Cat.
Not blood.
Not blood. That'd be weird. There's never been a fight
it's
in
period
the
blood.
Easing the Badger ever. Except for that fist fight last winter.
So I do. I never, of course, would ever say anything negative about Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
But
you are about to.
understand.
You're
We have the king, the council of the nine, and the assemblage.
Yeah.
So, presumably you're going to look at you have
Presumably.
executive, legislative,
There will
and
be
judicial.
dinosaurs in this
This executive,
legislative branch.
but it
that you're
seems like
portraying.
it's executive, legislative.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna go somewhere that you're not going.
I'm
when
fine
you're done
with it.
this.
But I'm just confused. So who makes the law? I don't mind the king being the executor. That makes sense.
Sure.
But who makes the law? Is it a bicameral thing, and you just didn't really make that make sense? I'm very confused. But the council.
I really love where your head's at right now.
the Council of Nine's where Lord Bryn came from. He does not appear to be.
Bryn?
Lord Bryn is where is Samuel.
What are you looking for in those notes exactly?
Bryn?
Bryn with a D.
Bryn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Lord Brett. It's
Brett.
Lord Brett.
I got Lord Brett.
Yeah, you know him. He gave us norovirus that one
Yeah,
time.
you gave us norovirus.
Get trying to bang mills. Great point for Lord Brett.
Brend.
Oh, Lord Brett. Back on topic. So it just seems like. All right, why are there 3 bodies here?
It's smaller and smaller palaces. And when you're listing off all these people and a council of 9, I'm like, how small can this house get? Who do you think has the cutest tiny house?
Ooh, that's
Like
the council
number
of
8 in
48.
the council?
No,
Yeah.
it's the council of way
Or number
more.
7?
It just keeps
No,
getting.
the
Number 9
the
probably has
council-
to sleep on
Number
top
9?
of his house. He can't
No,
even
the
get
Council of Nine.
They kept listening to Beatles. Number 9. Number 9.
Number 9?
in. I bet number 5 has just like a very adorable,
Oh, that's Mambo.
cute dog. Shit.
Number 9, Rivet Drive?
Number 4. You guys have jokes for every single one of them.
Number 9 is just like, seriously, just... Alright, I have to build it a foot shorter and a foot
No, number 9 is like this.
smaller in every direction. Fuck, That doesn't
Here's
leave
my
me a lot of
banner.
space.
It's in my palm.
Right, you had something to say though. What was it?
Leave me a lot
That
of
was it.
space.
Oh fuck! Sorry, that was the whole thing.
So I like the idea. So there's a brief moment where they're like riding through the city, and Perrin's like, "That's a weird beard to wear," and I was just like, "Oh fuck, he's never seen Beldomen." Like, I was just like, it just dawned on me. I was
That's
like,
a weird.
Oh, that was
point.
Matt.
That isn't. Does he
Rand?
ever see
And then like
Beldomen?
Nynaeve and Egwene and Min, and like I was like, he's never seen Beldomen. He's never seen somebody from Ilion that has a weird beard.
You know what else is weird? Every time I read it, to think that Perrin doesn't have a beard. I can't picture him without him.
Well, yeah, me too. Neither.
Hold on though. Does Perrin ever meet Beldomen?
I don't know that he does. However,
No one
the
ever
point
meets
being is like
Beldomen. He was the
Robert
best
Jordan
character in
had
the entire
enough
series.
like forethought to go, oh, Perrin hasn't seen that character,
Yeah.
and therefore, if he saw people with that beard, he might note it as he rode through town. And he literally wrote it. I was like,
Do you think
God
Maria
damn,
answered
bravo,
that?
man, because that's a deep
Do you
fucking
think
cut.
Maria answered that question one morning? When he
Yeah,
was like,
absolutely.
Perrin ever seen this shitty beard?
Yes,
This
absolutely.
mustacheless beard.
Yep.
I had a mustacheless beard when I was 19. I couldn't grow a mustache.
I mean, you know,
Illionair's a bunch of prepubescent boys, or
And
mid-pubescent.
Jono and I have dueled over palace sizes many times.
Yeah, Perrin's been
And-
nowhere. He went to Camelin in the dead of night.
Yeah, and then he was like,
Then he was
when he was
the borderlands.
when he was going from
was in the
Camelin
countryside.
to he was just in the middle
Fun
of nowhere
farm,
with
lived
fucking
in the mountains.
Elias.
He's done a lot of traveling
And
to
not
be
seen
so
anything.
unexposed to
Yeah.
anything.
It is an interesting note. I was just like, why did he point that out?
It is
And then I was
funny
like,
because like Matt's
oh.
been to Tarvalon, the most cosmopolitan like, city of all time.
yeah,
Rand has
spent time in Camelin.
yeah.
Like he's already kind
Yeah.
of.
It's ludicrous how interested in this I am.
I know. I'm
It's kind of fucking
mentally,
weird.
by the way, I'm thinking of Beldomen's plan,
really
who
like,
ends up in Tanchico, and then Beldomen doesn't get anywhere close because he ends up in Abu Dar. Like Beldomen gets nowhere near Perrin.
I don't think he does.
I don't know if
This will be an
ever.
interesting note. Let's track Beldomen and Perrin throughout the entire
He's
series.
an irrelevant character.
He is,
after
100%.
Book 1.
Yeah,
Book
100%.
2?
One.
Oh, Book 4. He
100%.
does a lot in Book 4.
100%.
He's
Tom on your
helped-
page.
Yeah, he does stuff in book.
He does a lot more in Book 4 than he does
Does
in Book
nothing in
1.
book 3 or book 2.
Book 1, he's just a participant. Like, just like, I'm the
What is he
trip captain.
interacts with like multiple
two is somebody called an
of the
Uber
main
and
characters,
showed up and
none of
waited
which are
and
Perrin.
nobody
One is
came,
the
so he
Uber.
left.
Book 1's the Uber. Book 2, at least, is kind of there. It's like,
No, book 2 is the Uber. Hey, I need an Uber, and then he shows up, and like they never come, and he's like,
but think about it earlier.
"You know
though,
what? You're still getting charged."
yeah, who's in Uber Eats because what does he drop off? He drops off.
he didn't drop off shit?
No, he draws the disc, the seal of the dragon of the dark one.
That's a reach, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, Book 4, he's actually a facilitator shit. Afterwards, he's just a hanger on.
Moving on.
Yes.
What else?
So
we got?
Ogier are not uncommon here. So Loyal's starting to feel like a little like, oh fuck, I hope there's no Ogier.
Yeah, by the way, clearly, if you see an Ogier bed, you're not staying the night at this point. It's just a harbinger of bad.
Yeah.
Also, seems like a horrible investment if you're an innkeeper to have one giant room that's never used.
Wasted real estate.
It's like you live in the poorest sector of town.
One giant room that's never used.
One day.
It's the greatest.
It's a good luck charm. Has it ever worked? Once, and they left.
Well,
No,
he's
he says there's stonemasons that come all the time.
But they don't go to the poor sector of town. Why
Do they
would they
not
go to?
No, they're in the perfumed area. They're not
Do
the
they
poor
not have
section.
stainless
perfume-
chalkboards
Do you not remember the
in this era?
I'm sorry. Finish.
Put it outside, like Ogier beds available.
That's
Mortal should not be surprised if he walks into it and there should
Yeah,
be a
you
sign
shouldn't
outside
be
that says
surprised.
Ogier bed.
I agree.
Joe, the point of the perfume sector is the fact that it smells like
Oh,
shit.
it's fish guts.
It smells like the Bridge of Flowers, the perfume sector. They always have great poetry. It's a joke. It smells awful there.
Do you think it smells like a porta potty?
It smells like worse than pork
Like
pie.
just all the time around there.
Yeah, you just kind of like poor Perrin. Like there should have been like if this were a book or two later where like we talk more about his like nasal abilities, he would just like olfactory. Fuck this. Like, but
It's a city where somebody that walks the frog dream would.
Oh, I got the impression that the perfumed quarter was it smells like shit, so there's literally perfume.
No, they just let it go on, and it's a joke that it smells awful.
Alien is literally a shithole. It's a horrible city.
It's awful.
I wouldn't even visit.
At any rate, he says to Loyal,
Before Samael.
hey man, you don't need to be here, you can go. And he's like, why don't you go? And he's like, well, what if she needs to travel the ways again? And then Zorane's like, the ways? And I'm like, god damn it, man.
You think, yeah, Baron. Well, what if we have to find the Dragon Reborn
really
again?
just like-
The Dragon Reborn?
No one say anything about anything. What about this?
Yeah.
No, she's right there.
That's how they treat her
All right.
the entire
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
I
not
said
gonna
that,
say anything
but
that
I won't
Moraine
say
wouldn't
secret thing
say.
3, 4, 5.
Loyal, why don't you just leave? Well, what if she needs to travel the ways? You guys have traveled the ways? Oh, god damn it.
Did we joke about the fact that this is also the same hand that Bale Doman actually was
Yeah,
in
no,
book 2?
we didn't joke. No, you mean 10
We
years
didn't
ago?
actually reference
No,
it, yeah.
wait, we referenced it, but we didn't joke about it.
I don't think we even referenced it. We just referenced the fact that, like,
We just
you'd never seen
mentioned
Bale Doman.
offhand.
But yeah, Bale had been here too.
Yeah, Bale-
I kind of love that
That's the
circuitous.
other weirdness about it. They've never seen each other, apparently.
Yeah.
And whether that's true or not, we don't know.
It also seems like so.
But
Like
also,
obviously,
Bale
she's-
stayed at the same inn and got accosted and then left.
by the world's worst dark friends.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'll pay you $1 billion if you go to Tyr.
So the something is wrong in the
It
city.
still seems funny, by the way. But yeah, you're right.
That's something is wrong in the city.
Yep.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
that's a very valid point. That's very.
I want to talk to you guys about the sign. This is very important.
Oh, open up my eyes.
He's in the badger.
Yeah. White striped badger dances with a man with a silver shovel.
I don't get it.
So I actually took
I
the
never
time.
thought about these that hard though.
As you shouldn't. Joe, you go first.
Oh, I got nothing. I just wanted to discuss how fucking bizarre that is and what that means for easing the badger. Why is a
Silver
shovel involved?
shovel.
Why is it silver?
So
Some sort of dick metaphor.
it seems like a dick metaphor.
But I don't get why.
But badger is now
Beaver.
beaver? Doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any
Driving the
sense.
whole time.
But the badger is dancing. So specifically not being a badger
Yeah.
and just thank you.
we never turned that off, did we?
Just
My
noticed.
bad.
I just noticed.
I wonder what that sounds like.
Shaking the whole time.
It actually might have been somewhat quiet until, like, maybe something shifted and the buttons just started hitting some of
Oh,
those.
maybe.
Because I
didn't notice it until you just said that.
It is a lot quieter though.
God. So much time. So much time.
I love the idea of not talking about it. So Easy the Badger. What's funny is I actually took the time to look for it.
Yeah.
Google had literally nothing except for one very bizarre, and I was pretty drunk when I looked at it.
Doesn't sound like you.
Yeah. What are the odds? They actually like referenced some poem that
1 to
seemed
1.
very again. I forget what. I don't remember any of the details. Very sexual, and my mind actually wrote. I wrote, check that out, which I didn't remember the link at all.
That's what all this led to?
Yeah. But there is actually, apparently it's from a poem. Apparently it's from like an old poem about easing the
You
badger.
told this whole story to get to the end and be like, and then I said, look at this, and I didn't.
High five.
Now we're done.
High five. Yeah, the
We
best
have
part
nothing
is
else.
we're in person. We can high five the dumbest shit. Including, anyways, the point
Dancing
is,
Girl, the Fargo song. Moraine is like, hey, what's going on? Mistress Mary is my name. Get people, you know? She mentions things got weird over the winter to Moraine, which means clearly Samuel arrived over the winter, right?
well, probably.
I don't know,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we'll go with that.
So I wrote, so Samuel's been here for a bit.
Been a while.
And then she goes, I hired
Samuel.
Samuel?
Samael. It's like Sam Ale. He was a big
I
fan
like
of.
how she goes, I hired
Adam's
this
ale.
girl to like, so basically she had a fist fight over the winter and she was like, well, I can't have that.
Yeah.
So she hires this dancing girl. So the dancing girl sings vulgar songs and basically strips in front of these people in her inn.
Yeah.
And then Moraine,
You see one person punch one person, and then you're like, never again.
never again. Naked women. We need it right now.
9/11 response. Never
like,
again.
Never forget.
Oh, we close. Let's start with never.
I was like 9/11 response, and we just didn't put
Never forget.
we put up a new twin towers.
That's why there's two of them.
Tits.
Who's gonna crash into that? No one. No one's crashing into those tits.
No one's gonna break the towers.
The tit towers.
Anyway, fucking perrin. This fat innkeeper is telling Moraine this shit, and perrin just goes, and she goes, she sings a song all right, but I used to do it better. And perrin's like, what? And 5 seconds later, 5 seconds later, she's like, oh well, I used to sing and do this, and perrin's like, what? Perrin's having he struggles with the idea that a fat woman was once a younger, smiling
He can't
person
imagine.
capable of dancing.
I cannot imagine.
It is like the funny, and also she can giggle.
Well, of course she's.
Jesus Christ, it was so fucking
It's
funny.
such a weird thing when he looks at like this.
he's just like, you were once young and could dance? This is insane.
Understand any of this?
This makes no
Anyway,
sense.
she goes on and on about Lord Brett's strange dreams and hanging bridges and walking through fog, and then she's like, Billy copied my own dreams. Ha ha ha. And Moraine's like,
I do love that part.
Fuck, okay.
Like,
that's
very
serious.
much. Like, when Rain's like, it might not be as crazy as you think he is.
Yeah, he's not an idiot.
She is
You're
terrified.
dumb.
Billy's dumb because he had the same dream I did about Lord Bryn walking around murdering people and grabbing a stone.
Yeah, the millisecond that happens, Moraine is like, so I need a boat to Tyr in the morning.
Do you know
Immediately. Like,
boat to Tyr.
immediately.
You're an idiot. There's no boat to Tyr.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm fat.
there is
I
it?
can't ever be thin.
All right, fine, fair enough. However, I'm going to be gone all night, Lan.
All night?
I gotta go, and you guys just hang out here.
Yeah.
And don't be upset if I don't ever return.
Can we have... I kind of want to watch Perrin watching porn almost because he's just so like confused about like someone who used to be in shape, like, and how embarrassed he is listening to sexual lyrics. Yeah.
I was like, we never talked about the Gray Man attack.
I mean, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap chapter 42 up here, guys. Perrin realizes he's not afraid when Moraine is because he's anticipating a fight like a wolf, or like what is the deal there?
I don't know. I find this kind of like banter between them all kind of briefly amusing, right? Like they're all like he's making fun of Fail, like Moraine's like making fun of Fail. Like,
Yeah.
they're all. It's a weird kind of like
He like wrote a sitcom into book 3.
yeah. There's a brief sitcom thing happening. Like
It does. There's like this weird
2.5
tension.
parents.
There's weird sexual tension between Perrin and Moraine. There's weird sexual tension between Perrin and Zareen, and then Zareen and Moraine are like fighting, and you're just like, okay.
That's the big Moraine theory.
What a weird. So you got a trifecta. Meanwhile,
Why is this working?
Lan is sitting on the outside just going, and you're like, you're laughing? What is happening right now? Lan's laughing? Like, it's a very interesting,
I will say this,
bizarre
that
painting.
it kind of trails off though at young Perrin, not as funny. It would seem kind of trite. Worked
yeah.
on you. Back at you. But seriously, it's just bizarre. Like, like the question was like she had to swear on the Hunter's Oath.
Yeah.
Like, you're not allowed to ask questions. And she's like, where are we going? Like, no questions. Like it's almost like, all right. I thought the whole point was not big questions. Like, is it okay if I urinate here?
Where are we going doesn't reveal anything.
Yeah.
You could have just been like, we're heading to Illian. I'm just like,
Joe, how are you feeling?
hey,
today?
heads up.
No questions. Yeah.
Like, suddenly Moraines the soup Nazi and just like, no soup for you.
Tom, does this shirt make me look fat? No questions. Like, what the fuck? That's not the point here. It's very...
Is that your soup Nazi impression?
That was bad.
Why did you do the pause?
I don't know.
It's no soup for you. Just like, no soup.
for you.
For you.
For you.
I think that's how that goes.
I think that's how that goes.
So I do enjoy so I was just sitting there, the Greyman approach. And I really think it's cool.
Real quick, though.
Yes.
They sit down to eat dinner for an info dump meal.
Fish.
Which is not
fish.
like It's such a funny thing in these books. Like every time now let's all meet in the common room to have a meal, and they're like, so you're just like, as a reader, you're just like, oh, so they're about to tell us a bunch of shit.
I read.
It works great if you're reading.
Yeah, no, it works perfectly for the read, but you're at the same time you're like, oh, they're about to sit down and
For our
reveal
purposes,
a bunch of information.
Oh, here we go.
It's like an RPG almost. Just
Yes.
kind of like you sit down, like
It's like a fucking video game. Like every time they sit down for a meal and they actually all sit at a table. Hi. Go to the water tower. And by tower, I mean
the
temple.
water tower.
Temple.
water tower. There's corpses. Water
I
temple.
wanted to know so much more about that.
They have an ogre-sized room, as we joked about.
Wait a minute. You realize, go to the water tower, and all of a sudden I was like, wait, is that a clue? Should I go right now?
Wait, are there lasers? Are there tinfoil lasers on the water?
Do I get the bow and arrow there? I'm leaving the house.
Do I get the hook shot?
The worst part is
done it.
what you've done to my mind is I'm like, you know what? Honestly, how clean is the water here? Considering what's up, like there's a bunch of tanning going on, and like
Yeah.
it's brackish water. Like,
Yeah.
are they?
They just dump
do they
all
boil
of
their
the
own
refuse
water?
into the water.
There's corpses.
dead
See you later. This
bodies.
chapter.
They can obviously survive.
They have like the hardiest fucking microbiomes you've ever met. Like,
So they eat fish. Tomorrow,
you die.
Fael might die.
You drink
Specifically her.
I hate that movie.
Eat fish.
Tomorrow
Fish in Mario
never dies. Everyone's distracted. Perrin smells something vile.
It's fail.
And then I'm just like,
fail over her legs. She hasn't perfumed it.
how does he know? All right, so here's the thing.
But nothing's actually perfumed.
All right, so here's
your
the
ass.
thing. Here's the thing.
Sulfuric.
They're in an
like
area
those
of
weird
town that
farts.
smells like fish guts. And worse.
Pussy.
And worse.
Yeah, it's bad pussy, and that sulfuric smell is like some of those
Dial
egg
it down,
farts.
Dial it down.
Sorry, I'm yelling. I'm sorry.
Dial it down.
Wait. Now dial it up.
Now dial it up.
Egg farts. Egg farts. It's egg farts. The whole thing was just egg farts from Lan. Like he's been riding ahead and just like.
It's just so funny that he's like, everyone's distracted. I smell something horrible. But Lan and Moraine aren't reacting. So for some reason he's like, it's gotta be a dark friend or a midrol
It could just be his
or
sensitive nose. It literally could be someone.
I think that we're onto something though. Actually, what's happening? So Lan farted. Moraine would know because obviously they're bonded.
Yeah, they're
So
bonded.
they're trying to avoid it, and he's just like something smells like sulfur, and Lan's like no.
Whoever smelled Perrin knows whoever smelled it dealt it. He doesn't want to say anything.
That's the whole thing.
And that's how Samael came to power.
But no, it's actually a it's a fucking.
No, it's
cool,
super. It is super cool.
When you're reading it, like 2 men crossing, or like 6 men crossing the room, like
also,
go back
like,
to that.
Fael points it out like 2 seconds later, but like when Perrin like just picks up his chair and just rips a leg off the chair and just
Awesome.
beats men to death with it, you're just like, God damn. And then like, and this is after we saw him just carve up a bunch of white cloaks after he saved Gaul, and like, you know, just like shit like that, and you're just like, God.
How does Perrin maintain this body? Because if you ever see like an NFL player that's like fucking ripped, and all they do
work.
is eat right and work out
All the time.
and then
you know what he was
retires,
doing in the camp of the Dragon
and then they just
Reborn?
get doughy.
He was just tire ropes.
Yeah, he was working. He was a blacksmith the whole time, but then he went on the road, took vacations. You know, hung up.
No, he went on vacation. What did he do? What has he done since leaving the Two
stopped
Rivers?
working out.
Yeah.
We don't
He's
know
just
that.
riding horses. Do you think in the morning he wakes up and does push-ups?
I know.
Absolutely.
He never did push-ups.
He does one.
I don't know. I think that's bullshit. I don't
He
think
does
he
one.
He does
Cock
not.
push-up.
Yeah, one's all you need.
I guess that's all he can do. I think that he actually gets up and just starts banging things, just like just grabbing swords and grabbing weapons.
I think he's like sledgehammering a tire.
He's watched a lot.
He is flipping over semi tires like
Yeah.
all day long. And they're like,
That's what he's
that
doing.
for? And it's like, I don't even know.
Why do you have 17 wagon wheels tied
What's a
together?
semi?
Fuck you. I know what I'm
That's my
doing.
dick does
It's
when
me.
Moraine comes around with her bush out.
He actually he carries his horse
Comes
down.
right
the
out of my fur capris as a red rocket.
He's carrying his horse instead of riding the horse. Like, all right, let's go grab it. And he just puts it on his shoulder and starts walking. Like, no, Perrin. No, don't hold stepper.
So again, we don't like to dive into fight scenes. However,
We do like
this
to talk
is
about
so
fight scenes.
good. It's so good. I mean, like, it's just a little bit of him going like, What the fuck is this? Men crossing the room. People at the fire.
We're sword form, by the way.
Girl
Man
dancing.
crossing room.
Moraine's talking. Men crossing the room. Girls dancing. Like men crossing the room. Why are the men crossing the room at us? Why do they all have knives? Like he just goes out of nowhere. He says, "Oh fuck, fight!"
It's important that he went to his room earlier and jerked off because otherwise, like he could
would have
not.
been way too focused on the woman.
Yeah, but because of that, like he had a little bit of mental clarity.
You gotta drain those out.
Yeah. Beforehand, woman. Now.
And he even says they have very ordinary faces. Like, what does that even mean?
They look.
If you get a group of dudes together, how would you describe their faces?
I think you've got an ordinary face. In a good way, though. Like you, in a not so ordinary way.
Why isn't that an insult in these? In this
It should
world?
be.
Like, oh, I guess a gray man. It's like a butterface.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I love this idea. Like, I'll be honest. Like, she had a great body, but kind of a gray man.
Kind of a gray man face, you know?
It's like, you know,
Guy's got great pecs, but gray man.
just totally.
I mean, have you met Eludra's husband? Yeah, he's nice, but kind of a gray man, you know?
Honestly,
I mean, super ripped, but kind of a gray man.
I love that.
I don't even
insult.
notice him when I look at him.
It's great.
So anyway, Perrin leaps to his feet,
Brutal.
and Moraine shoots fucking fire, which is like the most, I don't know, awesome thing, but also stupid. It's one of those things where you're just like, I understand that there's a threat, there's death, and you could die. But then 5 seconds later, she's like pissed off that everyone knows she's an Aes Sedai, and you're like, you did shoot a fireball.
It does.
Out of your hands.
As we established earlier, no one has matches.
Yeah, like, no, I'm gonna make my fortune off of sticks. Like, what the fuck?
So you made it very
yeah,
clear
like
you're
it's
Aes Sedai.
you made it very clear that you have powers.
It seems like everyone should just be slitting throats with air, right? Like there is nothing more. Like it's pretty clandestine.
So obvious.
Do you mean Iceman slide?
You mean an Iceman?
Is that where we're going? Iceman slide?
I'm fine with that. At this point, though, if I'm an Aes Sedai and I don't want anyone to know about it,
You're fine with Iceman slides?
Huzzah!
It's only book 3, middle of book 3, end of book 3. Where
11 years.
We are in
That's
book
how
3.
they fly. Iceman slides. We finally nailed it down.
He just said
Too late. No.
on
Don't even want
record.
to comment. Don't want to hear a thing.
Jono is okay with Iceman.
Okay with
slides.
Iceman slides. That's how they fly.
That's 100% on the record.
I never said anything about flying. I just said that's how you would slit a throat.
I said no comments.
Oh, I
You're okay with
apologize.
Iceman
Anyway,
slides.
what were
Yeah,
you saying?
air-
No, but it seems like a pretty easy
knives.
idea, right? Like in fairness.
Yeah, like a garrote wire made of air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the floss is made from.
We're kind of back to Nene with her blue crowbar
Yeah,
made of
glowing
power.
You look like you're trying to play the world's
And we're just
dumbest
like-
guitar.
And we're like, you could do like, oh, this is gonna get real serious and go a lot of places, and they just never did.
Yeah, it just seems like why not just garrote this guy or just slit his throat so no one knows?
I just
what
feel like maybe it's something as simple as like
never learned to
I just
leave.
know how to do this by rote. You know, like I can
I mean, it's not a bad point, right?
yeah, like instantaneously I can just throw a fireball without question.
It's not a bad reaction to
Zero
immediately
reaction,
kill
yeah.
someone, as opposed to
Just
like, hold on, I don't want people to know
they're
who
on
I am.
fire.
Yeah, what matters more, not dying versus having to swear something down?
So here's the thing. What would have been hidden best in this scenario? A giant ball of fire shooting through the room and bursting someone into flame, or somebody's head just like slicing off with nothing seen?
It looked amazing.
Or weaving
And you could be
water
like,
into their
that's
lungs.
weird. He must have hit that man's
it again,
head
Tom.
off.
Weaving water into their lungs.
I said the same thing. Why not suck the air out of their lungs?
Yes. Actually, I was just thinking about like, all right, crowbar of air.
All right, I have a
fire.
I
That was like hammer of water.
have a small Cherry's Jubilee, and that's it. I have a small tangent. For years, we argued about the best power to have from Captain Planet. You're so dumb. And I always said,
Stop everyone's heart.
I always said air. And everyone was like, air. And I was like, they're like, I can form rocks around my body, water, fire, lava. Like, I'm like, yes, but if you can't breathe, none of that happens. You know, like I can suck the air out of your lungs.
You would just
Everything's
constantly
done.
be walking around like this.
That's not
Just
I love that you're standing.
Just
No,
You got no air
if
in
you
your lungs.
hold your breath though, like if you close your mouth,
you don't. It's all about pressure.
yeah, but you can close your mouth. That close.
It's all about
Can't
pressure.
close your nose, bitch.
It's all about pressure. If I
You can't.
if I made a
holding my nose.
pocket
That's how you
of
defeat the
pressure
world's
outside of your house, outside of your mouth, it would suck the fuck out.
Again, hold your mouth, close your nose,
Wouldn't happen.
and then
Butthole.
just fire this guy.
Yeah, and then the air would
Pencil.
shoot out of your eyeballs and your ears.
Just out of your just suck
Air,
down.
you
Zero pressure.
idiots. Anyway, air fucking slicing throats is a brilliant idea, Jono. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think the best power is gravity, because then you can move other people over.
I mean, air is probably what those little razor wires are that people always like set up when Rand's chasing people.
It's fire and air. Yeah, it's fire and air.
fire. Why do you need fire?
I just
Because
like,
they're razor. They want to burn.
because it just adds a level of damage.
Yeah, you just want to merge it all.
I just love after the fight, Perrin basically goes like, the fight's kind of a blur, and then Perrin smashes a dude over the head, and then he's like, was it the fourth guy I killed or the second? And he doesn't even know because he's so like wolf boy at that point. He's like, I have no idea if I killed all of them or maybe two. We don't even know what Lan did. And Moraine's like, well, I got one of them. But Moraine and Zareen are just like staring at Perrin like, holy.
Yeah, at the end of this fight is Teen Wolf with like the loud heartbeat, like standing there, just like not knowing what the fuck happened.
It seems
He
almost
just dunked it back.
undeniable that Perrin
And he's
killed
like,
all.
And the
of
hottest girl in class wants to fuck it.
Yeah, and he's like, did I just
that-
wolf
well,
the
not
fuck
the
out?
hottest girl.
All girl in class.
The girl with the biggest
A
mons
girl.
pubis that's like a fucking falcon schnoz.
A girl. Oh, is that the new move?
Yeah.
It's not unibrow anymore. It's falcon clitoris. Falcon beak.
Falcon
We're
pubis.
gonna call that beak clit,
Beak clit.
which is hard to say, but we'll make an effort.
You know what? But you know what's fun about that though? It's a challenge.
It's different.
It's a challenge
It's new.
for our drunk brains.
And I don't mind the idea of still
And I
combining
like
it
a challenge.
with the unibrow. Ooh, unibrow pubis.
Challenge accepted.
What about unibrow pubis over that beak clit? It sounds like beak clit. Like it's just a huge fucking
Well,
beefy
enunciate.
pussy. Beak clit.
Beak clit.
Anyway, Billy helps put dead bodies in the canal, as
What
we've
the
discussed
fuck is
multiple
happening
times.
here? We did it already, but like toss the bodies in the canal.
Also, the singer is like, I apologize, I didn't know you were an Aes Sedai. And she's like, I don't care. That is
your
not
pervy
important.
song.
Have you not noticed how much I didn't care before, and now that you know I'm an Aes Sedai, and I murdered a bunch of people in here, I still don't care? It's not on my radar.
I love the fact that I was going to sing the song about sucking dick and eating ass, but now that I know you're nice to die, I'm not going to.
Anyway, at this point, Moraine is like, I gotta go. There's a fucking Forsaken in the city. I'm not gonna say that out loud because it's not everyone's supposed to know about it
Say it.
here. But it's a segue.
That doesn't make sense. Chapter 43.
Chapter 43, Tom, is called Shadow Brothers.
Shadow, brother.
It's a parent chapter, and guess what? They're in the same fucking inn they were in before.
Yeah, I wrote, those mean dogs are back. Parent has another dream. Sigh. Fail likes to watch people sleep. Samael is an illianer.
Oh, yeah. So this goes back into the hilarious idea of them having like a sitcom-esque love triangle going on. Because inexplicably, Moraine just bursts into Perrin's room and goes,
Like, now
Samael's an
my turn-
alien!
My turn to see your dick.
Yeah. My turn to see your dick. Oh, Zareen's here.
He's also combing his pubes out.
Like, holy shit. How, like, it's like, what's going on with Moraine? What was he doing with Moraine and Perrin right now? I think he didn't know. I think he was like, I gotta
He
add,
must have known.
I gotta add some tension in
He
here.
didn't have a viewing. That
I gotta add some
he knew where it was
tension.
going.
Maybe she actually was briefly a hawk.
But maybe at some point he was like, well, maybe I'll have them fuck on the road.
Hey,
Maybe.
yeah, why
Maybe.
So
Let's build the tension. Let's build the tension.
Let's get some tension between Perrin and Lan.
Anyway, how did you know, Blacksmith? I smelled them. Like at Jara and Remed, and I was like, okay.
Perrin would just be just like, why are you so much closer to Rand, Lan, when you've felt my orgasm.
Yeah, you literally
Felt my hot cum shoot up. Alright, never mind.
No, I like where you're going.
I like where you're going. Yeah, we all do.
I'm kind of interested to see where that goes.
The hot cum.
Is it Ben Stiller going on my ear? Where are we going here? So I appreciate the Scooby-Doo like thing. Is like we're gonna go search for clues. Like when does Lan ever search for clues after there has been a Trolloc attack?
Everyone come with me? No, never. Literally never.
What are we searching for? We already know what happened.
Not only that, but the clues they're following are literally footprints left in stone.
Nothing good.
Which, by the way,
maybe that's why he doesn't care.
It's a Hardy Boys book.
But why bring them? So he's like, hey, let's go find these.
Because they can find them too.
Listen, we gotta go find the dog.
So Perrin goes after his time here in the weird Scooby-Doo time.
Well, they find the Dark Hand Trail.
Say it again, because this is gonna be a good second episode.
What you got?
They find the Dark Hound Trail.
Yes.
Dark Hand. It's a dark hand.
Fael calls them fetches, which I thought was interesting.
Rain.
So I've mentioned this multiple times, and I go,
fetches are Mirror.
yeah, but here's the thing. He peppers those names in for Mirror like constantly in the early books. They never come back up again. It's fades.
We talked about this very recently.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it back up. He mentions fetches, and I'm like, that's a weird name. He never mentions it again.
You would think that fetch would make sense for a dark hound as a name, though, like right? Because they throw it to a dog.
I hate this joke so much.
It's not even a joke. Like, it's not even a joke. Like, it would make sense for it to be the dark hound as the fetch.
But it's not Dark Hounds, it's Midrol.
I know. That's why I say you would think it would be, but it's just
Right. That doesn't make
it's
sense.
Dr. Evil.
Right.
But it's just kind of
Here's the key though. Lan at this point, and this is actually important. Lan goes, "Hey, Fael, you can leave right now. Like you don't need to stay here.
Hey, seriously.
I'll cover the fuck up. You don't know enough to cause any problems. And if you want to leave right now, totally cool. Get the fuck out of here." And she's like, "No, I'm gonna stay." And he's like, "God damn it!"
I love
Perrin. Like the second time that she's had an out and didn't take it.
Perrin's response of turning around and being like, "That's not fucking good enough," and she's like, "Oh, I just want your dick." He's like, "Oh, all right, well,
That's actually later.
oh, is it not?" Either way,
This chapter was titled, I Just Want Your Dick.
I just want your dick.
I'm gonna rename every chapter in this.
doesn't cut me off.
He's like, "I'll handle Moraine."
So obviously, as you would expect, what does Perrin do? He goes right to bed.
Well, I thought.
I'll take care of this.
I actually do love that.
Really good
I do
point.
need to clarify, just for our viewers' sake. Lan is like, "I'm gonna go help Moraine. You guys go back to the inn." It's a ridiculous note because he's like, "Hey, everyone, come out to help me search. Now go home and go to bed. I'm gonna help Moraine."
Perrin does it.
And Perrin's like,
How do
"Alright,
you
sounds good."
how
Crawls
do
into
you
bed. Crawls into bed.
He has not been able to sleep for the last fucking 12 chapters at least.
And then he's like, "You know what? I saw a bunch of fucking
Purposely
evil
trying to stay awake.
dogs.
Go to bed. Okay.
Maybe I should find the wolf dream."
Anyway, so first thing he sees is Samuel's dreams, which, by the way, these Forsaken are dumber than fuck. We'll get to that later because they're, again, dumber than fuck.
Sure, yeah.
Always just having just.
We can bring that up many
can't
times
wait.
over.
Again, have you heard the joke about when they had the wet dream? No. Anyway, so he eventually gets his own dream, which includes Matt dicing, 90.
With the dark one,
Oh,
the
yeah.
girls fall into a trap. He calls Hopper and he's like, "Oh, hey man, what's up?
And,
What do you got on, fur caprice?"
and then he wakes up. Fael is watching him sleep. Do you think she's watching that wolf dick pulsing on and off? She's like the sheets just kind of moving up and down.
Absolutely.
Do you think she's over there just like,
So like,
You're doing nothing, but the answer is playing with two fingers. And what are those fingers doing?
just rubbing a red rocket.
Yeah.
Here's the key. He goes into the dream. God damn it. We're so horrible. He goes in the dream. The point is, the Hopper says, he's like, "Why the fuck are they after me? Shouldn't they be after Rand?" And Hopper's like, "What's the last fucking hunt?" And he's like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And he's like, "The last hunt. Get the fuck out of the wolf tree."
It seems pretty obvious what the last hunt is. The
It
Dragon
does,
Reborn
doesn't
is already here.
what do you mean the last?
What do you do you mean last?
By the way,
What other giant event
wanna know
that
about it.
everyone fears starts with last?
the Dragon's Reborn. Why is he here?
Let's start with A and work our way down. Last anal. No, that's not that bad. Last battle. Oh, fuck that.
Fucking A. That can't be right. Let's finish with C's. Last
Anyway, yeah, he wakes up, Zorane's in his room.
cocktail party.
He's like, oh, there's a candle lit. I didn't do that.
She was listening to some Elton John.
She's like, who are you, the Dragon Reborn? He's like, that'd be ridiculous. I don't even know him.
Really close to being right, but no. Like really, really close.
And then, as Joey mentioned earlier, Moraine flies in like, "Ah, it's the Forsaken."
He basically says,
John did a stage entrance for our viewers.
Rain barges in and goes, your wolf dreams are basically like a dreamer's perrin. The Forsaken are loose and one of them rules Illian. And he's like,
What is the deal with that?
what's the deal?
Why?
Because you didn't say that tWoTcast for this week, so
That's tWoTcast for this week.
we just kept going.
So that's tWoTcast for this week. If you have any comments or questions, the best way to find us is on Twitter at tWoTcast.
What is the deal with listening wherever you get your podcasts? You can email us at twatcast@gmail.com.
tWoTcast theme songs brought to you by Taffy Bennington at Sing with Taffy on Twitter and Anarchy 101 on YouTube, and also everyone's favorite musician on Twitter of time, hashtag Twitter of time, Androl. That's at Androl Genhold on Twitter and Androl Bard of Time on YouTube.
What is the deal with Patreon? Well, we're on it way more often than we used to be at patreon.com/tWoTcast, which, by the way, is a website of very high importance, because you can give us money because you enjoy the show. We all know that. You can help us out, give us some of your money, and enjoy exclusive sexual content only on Patreon.
Thank you to our guest, the state of Georgia, for having us all back together again. Because Georgia doesn't on every podcast. Join us next week
Made in Georgia.
for The Wheel of Time, Book 3, The Dragon Reborn, Part 11, covering chapters 44 through 47. You've been listening to Jono. I
Jono!
feel like I should say something else. Don't we have a catchphrase for this guy?
You say goodnight, Jono.
You say...
No, you thought of a better one.
You only
No, that
hear
was
what
it.
you want.
Good night, Jono.
Good night, Jono.
No, you
Joe.
say goodnight, Jono.
Say good night, Jono.
Say good night, Jono.
And Joe. That doesn't make any sense.
You're not supposed to say.
Say.
Keep the change and filthy animals.
Oh, Tom, study your math.
We should do another one of these.
I fucking picked this up and drew it like I was dating Letterman.
But that was long ago, and now they've grown the show, and now they got us in their hooks. Don't throw coins to these bastards, they need bars of gold at least. Someone please keep them afloat. Now let's listen as they once again ramble through a book. Let's get the fucking quote. One of them is Tom, but he is barely on. Sometimes he calls into the show. Another one is Jono. Is he their joker? Oh no. And Joe, is he the stupid one? Welcome to the tWoTcast. We will share our love for books and all our hate in every episode. We'll entertain you, make you laugh.